This is part 2 of the how-to videos for Child 210 online. In this video, I'm going to show you how to download your assignment files and then how to turn in your assignments when you have them ready, how to find your grades, and also how to find my feedback on your assignments. So first I'll get back into the class here. For downloading the assignments, you need to go back to the content section. As I said in the other video, that's where most of the important things in the class are going to be. So for Unit 1, you're going to need to go to Activities. So this is the easiest way to get to it. Just go to the bottom of that Unit 1 table of contents, and then you'll find it here. So this is all the things that you'll need to do for Unit 1. The discussion board, like I showed you in the last video, then here are the Dear Abby instructions, and then this is the Dropbox where you'll turn it in. Here's the observation. You'll actually download the file here and read the instructions, and this is where you turn in the observation. Then the same thing for the journal. Like I said, the journal questions are throughout the content. As you go through, you'll see all the questions. So if you want to just copy and paste those, you can. But this is where the file will be found that has every question all in the same place. And that's where you'll turn it in right there below. So for the Dear Abby, this is the only place you can find it. So you want to make sure that you come here. Again, it's just under Content, Unit 1 Activities. So I'm going to show you the instructions. This is where you download the file. So you need to make sure to click right here, and then that will give you your file. Now make sure you're paying attention. This is the one that has really specific instructions. So here's the word count minimum. You need to make sure that you do a word count before you turn it in. So that's for your entire file. That's for the instructions, every question, every answer. So it's not hard to get this. As long as you're answering the questions thoroughly, you should be fine getting to the 2200. Just make sure you have that. You are going to need to answer 3 questions per chapter. So that's going to be 9 for each unit. There aren't any for chapter 1. It starts chapter 2, 3, and 4. So you will see, here I'll go ahead and download the file so you can see it. There are more than 3 on each chapter. So you do not have to answer every question. So make sure you just pick the 3 that you want. So let's say I don't like question number 1, so I'm going to skip that one. So I'm going to do number 2, number 3, and number 4. Okay, so I'm good on chapter 2. And then the same thing, you'll see I need to pick 3 for this one, 1, 2, and 3, whatever you decide to do. Just make sure you have 9 total, 3 for each chapter, so you do not have to do all of them. The other thing I wanted to show you is you've got to cite your page numbers, and I've explained this before, but it's very important. I will take off points if you don't have your page numbers cited. So just make sure you're reading these instructions carefully. Okay, so now that you've got this file downloaded, you'll be working on it. You can answer your questions. You can type, your Dear Abby answers, and then just save this as you go along. So when you're all finished and you're ready to turn it in, you can just go to this, click it right here. You can get it by going to the next page, or you can get it straight from the table of contents under Activities in that Dropbox place. So there's like 3 different ways to do it, but basically there's where you turn it in. Okay, so I'm going to click Upload. I'm going to find my file, double click on that, and then okay. Here's the file that I need. You can write me a note if you'd like. You don't have to. And then you click Submit. Okay. Now it should, if you have your notifications set, it should send you an email saying it is your receipt that you can confirm that you've turned that assignment in. So you just want to make sure you get that email. It'll say the time and date and everything, which is good because if something weird happens with your submission, then you have that showing that you did turn it in. So that is done. So now, if you want to double check and make sure that you have it turned in correctly, you can go here to Assignments. So this tab shows you everything that you have turned in. So here's my first Dear Abby. Here's my submission. And I don't have a grade on it yet. It hasn't been graded. So I can click on this little number 1 and it'll show me the name of the file that I turned in. And then if you click on that, it'll open it. So you can make sure that it's the correct file. So be careful about this because since you're doing it over 2.5 weeks, you might have a few different files floating around. You might have the original and then you might save it as a different name, and sometimes it gets confusing. So just make sure you're turning in the right file, and you can check it here under assignments to make sure that it's correct. Okay, so we'll say I turned in my assignments. Now I'm just waiting for a grade back. So when I get a grade back, I'll have a little notification up here saying that a grade has been updated. So it says here, grade updated for the reading check, fact or fiction, and the journal has all been graded. Okay, so how do I find my grades? Well, there's a couple ways to do it. You can go under My Grades and then click on Grades. And this is just going to be a list of all of your grades just numerically. So here I got a 10 on the reading check. I can see that my Dear Abby hasn't been graded yet, so there's nothing there. And then down here is, okay, my journal has been graded. I got 46 out of 50. And then I have a little note here from my teacher. And it says, I'm going to let you know that there's a file attached. So there's no way to get to that file from here. You can't find the file, right? That's confusing. Sorry about that. But I'll show you how to do it. So you find the file under Assignments. So it's not under Grades, it's under Assignments. Okay, so I'm going to go to Assignments, and I can see for Unit 1, well, I've turned in my Dear Abby, but it hasn't been graded yet. I've turned in my journal, and it has been graded, and there's where you find the feedback. So click View. So here's the feedback. I'm going to leave a little message letting you know there's a file attached, and then here is the file. So you want to open this, and this is where I put all of the feedback on the specific questions. So I'm going to show you how that's going to look. Okay. So here's just an example. This is not actually a question for this unit, so this is not a real question. It's just an example. Okay. So here's your answer, and then I'm going to write some feedback in red. If there's no feedback, that means you got full credit. You didn't get any points taken off. Sometimes I just kind of read through it and say, okay, that's fine. Sometimes I'll leave you a note saying good job, or I liked what you said about this, or that was a great example, you know, something like that. So just because there's something written in red doesn't mean it's a bad comment. It just means it's from me. That's how you can tell it's from me, is it's written in red. Other times, if you're missing something, I'll highlight, okay, you didn't answer this part of the question. You didn't say anything about prevention or whatever it is that's highlighted. It means you didn't answer that part of the question. Or if something's incorrect or whatever, I'll type a little message to you saying, hey, this part of the question is not right. You need to include more information about this part, whatever it is. And then I'll say -1 point, or, you know, whatever the case may be. So if you just leave it completely blank, it'll be -2 points. But basically, if you just go through your entire assignment and read all my little red notes, then that will help you in future assignments to know how to do things better. So if I'm telling you, you need more detail, you need use more vocabulary words from the textbook, or you didn't answer this part of the question, you can see where you got points taken off, and then you can fix those things the next time you do your journal for the following unit. So I spend a lot of time reading through your answers and giving you this really specific feedback on the journal and on the Dear Abby. So please take the time to read it, because it will help you to do better the next time. Okay, so that is how you find your feedback. Again, it's under assignments, so just use that tab. I find it much easier because it's done by units and not like the grade section is done by assignment. So it's kind of all spread out and you have to scroll all over the place. But here, it's all done by the unit. So that is how to find feedback. I think that is all I wanted to cover for this video. So let me know if you have any questions.